see a lot of folks at Everlab, our members, highly successful people across every industry. And if you think about how these folks got really successful, they're proactive, they're data-driven, they're strategic, they're goal-focused.
What advice do you have to them that haven't really put a lot of effort into their health?
The number one thing that everyone should be doing is just simply...
For those business owners that are busy trying to build their financial capital, what advice do you have to them that haven't really put a lot of effort into their health?
The number one thing that everyone should be doing is just simply taking an interest in your health in a more data-driven way. And this is super interesting. I see a lot of folks at Everlab, our members, highly successful people across every industry. And if you think about how these folks got really successful, they're proactive, they're data-driven, they're strategic, they're goal-focused, right? These are all folks who have OKRs and KPIs in their businesses, and you know they're making forecasts, they're making bets, they've got a business intelligence person, right? So like they're super strategic and goal-focused in other aspects of their lives. But again, it's like culturally, often these folks are just shooting from the hip when it comes to their health. They're like, oh, I heard from a guy at my office that he's doing intermittent fasting. I might give that a crack, right? Also, like I heard so-and-so's eating, walnuts and dry blueberries, and that might be good, but that shouldn't be how we make decisions, because that's also a high-cost, low-yield way to action, right? So the best thing that I think folks can do is just simply take an interest and have a think about your family, right? What's your ancestry? What's your genetic? You don't need a genetic test to think about, oh, gosh, like these diseases are running through my family, because you know what else is similar to finance capital? Is that some people are just born in Norway with a trust fund, and some people are born in like Kabul, Afghanistan, right? So like your genetics is what is the capital that you're born with. So like sometimes you need to work harder to get more capital, and some people are just lucky, or some people are just fantastic genes. It's like, I don't really exercise, but my VO2 max shoots up the moment I do a little bit. Like my cholesterol is just naturally low, and there are folks like that. So that's why having a data-driven approach is so important. And just start by taking an interest. What runs in my family? What runs in my ancestry? Do I know a bit more about my genetics? Take more of an interest in like thinking about your health. And then from there, you can take those actions. Have a conversation with your GP and say, I want to be a bit more prevention focused. I want to make this a thing, right? I want to come back once a year. So like at Everlab, we, by standard, we test folks twice a year. At least get one test done, right? At least say, have that conversation, find a GP who can engage in that conversation. A lot of folks service their cars more often than they service their bodies. I mean, you can easily buy a new car, right? So, they do their tax returns because the government forces them to. The car dealership's always hounding you to go get your car serviced. Create a forcing function for yourself, find the right providers and say, hey, what's my biggest ROI in terms of keeping myself healthy? What else can I do? And of course, there are a lot of avenues to then go further down that line and say, I want a service that just does it all. So for instance, at Everlab, we have a patient-facing app.
Yep.
We've designed our own systems. We want to be able to engage you in an efficient, accessible way.
Take us through a little bit of a journey of a patient that is going to be a patient of Everlab. What would they expect, and what does that service look like?
We're personalised. We're prevention-focused. We're data-driven. The way to access it. And we also want to make it as smooth and frictionless as possible for you. Hence the app, right? Hence, a very digitized system. You can sign up just by jumping onto our website and joining the waitlist.
Yep.
And when you come through, you download the app, and you can basically do a lot of things on our app. We have a big support team, so if you need to talk to anyone, you can email, you can call. But we want it to be a super easy, streamlined service that you can do asynchronously. So at home, you can read the things, you can click through, you can give us consent so that our team then goes out and quite painstakingly finds all of your historical results, which is data is power, right? So having the right data helps you make the right insights to make good decisions. So that's what you can expect. A lot of our doctor touch points. So you will have a primary doctor. We try to match you with the right doctor as well based on your needs. You can, have access to other doctors on our team too, and our various doctors have different special interests. But we try to match you with the same doctor across your journey because you want to build that human relationship of trust as well.